directed that all NALDA's abandoned farm estates be retrieved to enable thousands of our young men and women to be engaged in farming.
Energizing the federal government's drive towards optimal agricultural value chain, President Buhari flags off National Young Farmers Scheme.
I don't get a lot.
Artisans in the nation's capital in high spirit as actual disbursement of survival grant begins.
The most important element will be political commitment.
Correspondent on COVID-19 vaccine journey, availability and access. Plus, U.S. President-elect Biden's camp considers legal action as Ienre gives status report on halted by elections. Hello and welcome to the Network News, reaching you live from our network studio in Abuja. I'm Ienre John. Dr. Guyeme is also with me tonight in our Lagos studios. Thank you for joining us. The agricultural sector is on the front burner tonight, as after nearly 20 years in limbo, the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, established in 1992 to bring development to the rural communities through agriculture, has been resuscitated. At a formal relaunch of the program, President Muhammadu Buhari also flagged off the National Young Farmers Scheme, designed to engage, encourage and attract Nigerians into the full value chain of agribusiness. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The National Young Farmer Scheme, which is one of the several programs of the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NALDA, is to engage 1,000 farmers from each of the 774 local government areas of the country, thereby creating 774,000 direct employment annually. Out of the 1,000 farmers per local government, 500 will be engaged in crop production, 400 in animal husbandry, and 100 in processing and marketing.
I sincerely assure you, Mr. President, that NALDA under your watch will achieve food security, job and wealth creation in our country.
President Muhammadu Buhari described the flag-off of the scheme at this time as a demonstration of commitment by his administration to youth empowerment as well as food security.
I have directed that all NALDA's abandoned farm estates be retrieved to enable thousands of our young men and women to be engaged in farming. This administration will be achieving agricultural mechanization through this scheme, and I am confident that Nigeria will achieve food security in producing most of what we eat. By virtue of my passion and desire for agriculture, and also as a farmer myself, I am directly supervising NALDA as an authority under the presidency.
The federal government, the president promised, will do everything towards ensuring that NALDA's mandate is translated to food security and sufficiency, expressing optimism that with the progress so far achieved in agriculture, Nigeria will in a few years begin to earn more revenue from export of agricultural commodities.
It is my expectation that the scheme will take in young Nigerian graduates and non-graduates alike and be part of this government's effort to reduce unemployment and contribute to the regeneration of agriculture and our economy. I charge the Executive Secretary, CEO of NALDA, and his team to continue to live up to expectations and know that communities around the country are looking forward to their positive presence in all localities.
At the remarkable event, various stakeholders delivered goodwill messages, including Fatima Usman Musa from the Area 1 Durumi IDP camp, representing the young farmers.
Thank you for bringing back NALDA.
We cannot continue to doubt, criticize and dislocate government reforms and efforts to create a better life for the citizens. Let us give our programs a chance. Please let us keep hope alive.
Financing is available for all those who are willing and able and demonstrate commitment to undertake activity in the agricultural space. And we thank you and we congratulate you.
This sector is therefore the game changer to our economy, to our political stability, and to our security, Your Excellency. And I want to promise you once again that we'll continue to give you the kind of support that you need on such programs until we take Nigeria to the next level.
The stakeholders appeal to communities, local as well as state governments to not only donate but also facilitate the acquisition of land for NALDA to develop. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Similarly, the Director General of Voice of Nigeria and Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Osita Okechukwu, has appealed to Nigerians to key into the Agrarian Revolution program under the Buhari-led administration. Addressing journalists at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja. This, he says, is a road map to a speedy achievement of financial independence, especially among the teeming youths and women. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Launched in the early stage of the Buhari administration, precisely on 17th November 2015, the Buhari Agrarian Revolution is a policy that is aimed at driving the country's desire for food safety and security.
Of the almost 4 million square meter space of Nigeria is fertile.
The Director General Voice of Nigeria has acknowledged the growing figure of food production, particularly rice, which the rice farmers say increased as a result of the Anchor Borrowers program and ban on forex for food importation, coupled with land border closure. Government efforts in providing an atmosphere for various innovations by youth to thrive in the areas of small and medium-scale entrepreneurial skills and subsistence farmers migrating to commercial farmers are government policies that require more commitment and sincere support by the citizens.
What I call the Buhari Agrarian Revolution, for me, it is a roadmap to Nigeria's resurgiment. Our people, especially the teeming youths and women, are here to embrace this milestone as expected. I wish the state governors will join Mr. President and put more effort in what they are doing.
Lifting 100 million people out of poverty in 10 years, reducing economic inequality, enhancing internal democracy as the bedrock of true democracy, he agreed, remains the top priority of the current administration. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Now, talking politics, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the registration of new members for the governing All Progressives Congress, APC. The president gave the approval at an audience with the party's caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee led by its chairman and the governor of Yobe State, Mai Malabuni. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
A Mai Malabuni-led caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee of the governing APC was in the State House to present to President Muhammadu Buhari the timetable for the party's registration and revalidation exercise. Section 9, subsection 4 of the party's constitution 2014 as amended empowers the committee to, in consultation with all stakeholders, organize membership registration. Provision is also made that the party shall update its membership records every 6 months and remit updated copies to the appropriate secretariats of the party.
The last registration we had was in 2013, and now we are in 2020. So we are going to register those who have not registered before and revalidate and then update our membership register. As from today, we are commencing with sensitization, and thereafter it will culminate to membership registration across the country. The National Executive Committee of the party said we must rebuild the party bottom up. In trying to achieve this, the National Caretaker Committee met after consultation with all relevant stakeholders, with all the 36 state chairman, with Abuja, and all the non-NWC NEC members and other leaders, we have all agreed and to start the process earnestly.
The APC caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee described as baseless, unfounded and mischievous insinuation in some quarters that the members are planning to stay in office for a period longer than necessary.
We are empowered by the National Executive Committee of the party to discharge certain responsibilities. We are not job seekers. We are here to work for our party, to reposition our party, to reunite our party, to solidify our party, to ensure that we have a party we can all be proud of. In democracy, you cannot stop anybody from saying what he wants to say.
We are conscious that this assignment will unfold, and intervening circumstances across the country have made it more difficult. The party lost a serving governor to the opposition. So the chairman came at a time when the morale was weak. They have worked so hard, including the winning of Ondo State gubernatorial election.
In the meantime, Governor Mai Mala Buni said the committee is continuing the reconciliation efforts and members are proud of the work done so far towards securing Ondo State for the party and the return of high-profile members such as former Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara and Senator Barnabas Gemade to the APC family. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The United Nations has reiterated commitment to resettlement of internally displaced persons in their ancestral homes to enable them return to normal life. The Deputy UN Secretary General, Amina Mohammed, stressed the position of the United Nations while briefing newsmen shortly on arrival from Banki town in Bama local government area of Borno State, housing internally displaced persons as part of an official engagement in the country. Mohammed Goni reports that the UN Deputy Secretary General was accompanied on the visit by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum.
The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed was in Borno as part of the UN's delegation's tour of African countries that include Nigeria, Niger, Mali, Sierra Leone and Ghana. Banki Town in Bama local government is a community where government has joined border program with the UN, and the visit by the UN delegation was to assess the humanitarian situation occasioned by the security challenges with a view to taking an informed decision on what needs to be done to improve on the livelihoods of the IDPs and to begin the process of resettlement and reintegration of the population now that the security situation there has improved.
But that also requires support, and that support needs to come in terms of security so that we have a better security situation, and at the same time the investments that are needed for that livelihoods, the socio-economic impact, more infrastructure.
The UN Deputy Secretary General said the camp at Banki is overcrowded and the demand is high, and that based on the interaction they had with the IDPs, they are tired and want to go back home to normal life, adding that what is needed is to speed up the resettlement process in line with plans and priorities of government. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
In other news, the Senate has continued to stress the need for ministries, departments and agencies of government to complement the policies of the federal government on social safety nets, especially in 2021. At the 2021 budget defense by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, the Senate Committee on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organizations urged them to expand their scope of operation to include facilitation of employment opportunities for Nigerians abroad. Ignatius Sonko reports.
The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, and the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabire Rewa, provided explanations on the 598.3 million naira 2021 budget of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. 354.5 million is for capital, while the Parliamentary Committee was not satisfied with the 143.7 million earmarked for personnel.
For the EPs, that should not be a problem, because it's centralized and it's not within our powers to change it.
So the first question will be, will they be able to pay salary with this huge reduction? And it's part of our responsibility to see that we look, what is the issues, what's the problem, or why is it reduced? That
this commission can also come up with a database of Nigerians who are interested in working outside the country.
Today now we received a group of an NGO that wants to look at the issue of Nigerians in prisons abroad. There's a lot to do about welfare of our people abroad. We're getting to a state where Nigerians all over the world, the respect is coming back.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Adejoke Orelope Adefulire, presented the 2021 budget of the office to the Senate Committee on SDGs for consideration.
And we'll be happy that if you have some senators also to join us as we hand over the project to the community in various states that we have implemented.
If there is no need for her coming back or calling her back for more clarification, we don't need to invite her again.
Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, defended the ministry's 2021 budget before the Senate Committee on Sports with emphasis on improving funding for the ministry. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And still on budget, Defense, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has presented a budget proposal of 947 million naira for the year 2021 to run the culture and tourism sector of his ministry. Anthony Forson reports.
Giving a breakdown on how the funds should be expended, Lai Mohammed said the ministry will engage in a series of activities both at home and abroad. Some of the foreign events, though statutory.
Participating at UNWTO, ATA, UNESCO, African Union, ECOWAS conferences, AU Ministers of Culture conferences, etc. And we are budgeting 88 million. Participation in UNESCO General Conferences, these are statutory conferences. We are proposing 31 million. 519,517 naira.
And in the home front, there will be
vamping of existing cultural industries centers in Nigeria. We are proposing a sum of 157 million, 974,604 for these 14 cultural centers.
Defending the 2020 revised appropriation, the minister said the 164 million appropriated, same amount was released for projects and programs in the sector. Chairman of the committee, Omorege Uwede Ihama, while commending the Minister for Fiscal Discipline, called on departments and agencies under the ministry to take a cue.
From this presentation, the minister had 100% releases and has performed very close to 100% in all of them, which I think it's laudable. You don't have any business in keeping government money in your possession. If it has been appropriated for, it should be spent accordingly. And for agencies that are here, if you have not expended your capital project at least up to 70%, and we're in November, I don't think you have any business to be in this hall to try to want to present a proposal for 2021.
The culture sector takes care of international cultural relations, entertainment and creative services, promoting cultural industries and heritage, as well as ecotourism. From the National Assembly, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, ministries, departments and agencies under the Ministry of Information and Culture should concentrate more on internally generated revenue to enable them perform better with little support from the federal government. This was at the 2021 Budget Defense before Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation in Abuja. Adibola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Outfits are some of the worst hit by COVID-19 as a result of social distancing, lockdown and other protocols. NTA led in the defense, where the Director General Yakubu Ibn Muhammad reviewed the appropriations with the hope of better performance going forward, especially in its efforts towards the completion of its permanent sites and digital switchover.
Our COVID-19 involvement in terms of jingles and programs, November 3rd this year, stands at 630,500,000 naira. If we include live coverages of PTF briefings, the figure will exceed 1 billion naira. The authority is yet to receive any form of intervention in this regard.
For APCON, the advent of social media is a major challenge.
The way we are currently structured, we don't have the empowerment to monitor the digital media.
What I want to say is just to put more effort in internal generation.
The agency has suffered over the years, particularly in the year 2020.
With its 8.2 billion naira proposal, Director General of National Orientation Agency, Garba Abari, said his projection is for 2021 to be better, as the National Film and Video Censors Board also made its defense.
Monitoring and evaluation to make sure that a couple of things did not happen in this country. So this budget was reduced to almost, the 2021 was reduced to almost nothing.
For the nation media regulator, National Broadcasting Commission, the acting Director General, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, said 2021 will be a better year. Some of the agencies were asked to return after perfecting their defense. Adebola, Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Ahead, hope in sight for the world as COVID-19 vaccine trial passes third phase. Also, more on the National Assembly budget defense. This and more in the second part of tonight's news. Do stay.
My tailor don't be your mate. He don't live for your grade. If he knock you a bata, tell no go the hell. Anytime I want to celebrate, he goes so the clock, he know the late. He is sweet me like a chocolate. My tailor know the disappoint. Tailor we go Harvard University. You don't go the job like a baka. If you see my tailor,
make that switch today and enjoy all calls at 11 kobo per second. Free data on every recharge and double data for 3 months on the network with the widest 4G coverage.
Okay, my tailor.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Mommy is back. Guess what's inside?
Chocolate.
Biscuit. Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
Cavity? What cavity?
Let me show you.
Most toothaches are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity.
It also has natural mint for minty fresh breath every day.
Mom, can I eat chocolates now?
As long as you brush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
If you run mad, we know waiting cause am. Every time na this phone. Have you gone to buy more units for light? Give me this phone. Ha! They don't finally get you. Enter store, you go see one pink nylon. Bring and come. If you try am. Now that chicken where they use corner look me. Now I want to. That one.
Oh! So now why you send me message when no get be this? Shate. Make yourself begin to enjoy credit and data. Berekete.
Introducing Berekete. Activate a new Glow sale and get 600 naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans. Find your first with Berekete. Glow Unlimited.
Morning, first on the news. The World Health Organization has declared Nigeria wild polio virus free.
Nah, you don't mean it.
Nigeria is polio free. Does that mean vaccinators will not be coming to our houses? Let's listen, please.
The Honorable Minister stated that Nigeria is still at risk of importing the wild polio virus, as 2 other countries still have the virus. Thus, to keep polio at 0, vaccination must be sustained on a regular basis.
But how can they sustain this vaccination with this coronavirus?
Let's listen now. Wow.
Health workers in all PHCs across the country have been trained by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency to protect themselves and their clients against COVID-19. Nigerians have absolutely nothing to fear.
Continue to visit primary healthcare centers near you for vaccination and other basic health needs. Keep polio at 0. Congratulations, Nigeria.
This message is brought to you by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Sticky, spicy, sweet.
Don't touch me. I will get you arrested.
Very, very meaty.
Enjoy faster internet connectivity on Airtel Home Broadband. Get more than enough data on Airtel Router in MiFi and bring the most to your doorstep with Airtel Smartbox Outdoor Unit. Visit any Airtel shop or dealer's outlets to enjoy these amazing offers. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by Airtel, the smartphone network.
Oh, see how oily I am. It'll take forever to clean this.
Take it easy, Pan. Your days of endless scrubbing are over. Madame just bought Sunlight dishwashing liquid.
What do you know about a Pan's life?
This advanced formulation has real lemon juice that'll cut through all those stains fast in just one wipe.
Wow, that was fast.
See how easy it is to remove oil in one wipe?
Sunlight dishwashing liquid removes oil stains in just one wipe.
Thank you for staying. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development did not receive any special intervention fund in the name of COVID-19 aside budgetary allocation. The Minister, Sadia Umar Farouk, gave the explanation during a budget defense session with the House of Representatives Committee on IDPs. National Assembly correspondent Lamia Ali has details on this and other budget defense meetings of the committee.
We have not received a penny from any organization, either within or outside this country. We operate within the budgetary allocation as appropriated.
The Ministry's 2020 budgetary allocation for COVID-19 intervention, the Minister added, has been utilized, just as he's handed over all donated relief materials to state governments for onward distribution. The documents were presented to the committee for consideration. Also at the House of Representatives was the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs to present the Ministry's budget estimate for 2021.
I see how you can assist to increase a little for us. We are soliciting for additional funding, and this will help us not just to realize Mr. President's mandate to make the people of the region proud.
When the Minister of Police Affairs and Inspector General of Police appeared before the House Committee on Police Affairs for Budget Defense, the committee said it will make additional inputs in the 2021 proposal.
Submit the list of our men who laid their lives in the course of their duty, particularly and most importantly during these answers. Before we tidy up the budget, we will now try to see how to factor in that. 2, we may need the inventory of stations that are burned down by criminals.
Launching Nigeria into the digital economy world is among the priorities of the Ministry of Communications in 2021, said the minister at the budget defense session.
If we provide enough skills for our citizens, we will be producing more of potential employers and entrepreneurs. But when we only focus more on universities, we will be producing potential employees.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Aviation has appeared before the House Committee on Aviation, during which concession of airports, among other issues, were deliberated on. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And away from the National Assembly now, Acting Chairman of Ienre, Ahmad Muazu, has begun the process of having a date for the conduct of the 15 outstanding by-elections in 11 states, earlier scheduled for October 31st, 2020. Ienre Ogide reports on the efforts and other decisions taken by the new man on the seat.
The MC asked all to stand up as the acting chair moves in. Betty screams, "No, sit." Everyone goes laughing. That brief show set the meeting between INEC and political parties on an interesting note, though many joined via Zoom.
To consult with you regarding the pending 15 by-elections in 15 constituencies across 11 states of the Federation.
These elections would have been over by now, if not of the NSAS protest, because they were scheduled for October 31st, 2020, but postponed for security reasons. Even in this meeting, there was a protest again. Two factions of IPAC claimed leadership, but the acting chair steps in promptly.
But for the purpose of this meeting, please let us just proceed.
Orderliness restored. The meeting continues, and the journey to fixing a date for the elections begins. Next was the state of the continuous voter exercise.
Now, on the continuous voter registration, the CVR, the Commission intends to roll out the nationwide program in the first quarter of 2021.
The media, civil society organizations, and security agencies are on the lineup for similar meetings before a date for the elections will be taken. Ienre Ogide, NTA News.
And outside Nigeria, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's camp is reportedly considering legal action to force Trump administration to begin transition. Justin Bemui brings us details.
With the transition clock ticking and yet no action from the Trump administration on handing over to the new president-elect, Joe Biden's team is reportedly looking at legal action, among other options, as the General Services Administration, GSA, fails to formally recognize the Democrat election win. The General Services Administration, GSA, normally recognizes a presidential candidate when it becomes clear who has won an election so that a transition of power can begin. That has not yet happened, despite U.S. television and news networks declaring Biden the winner on Saturday after he secured enough electoral votes to secure the presidency. The law does not clearly spell out when the GSA must act, but Biden transition officials say their victory is clear and the delay is not justified, even as Trump refuses to concede defeat. Trump has repeatedly claimed without evidence that there was widespread voting fraud and has filed a raft of lawsuits to challenge the results. Justin Bemui, NTA News.
Now looking at health matters, absence of vaccine has been a major challenge confronting the world in the effort to contain the spread of coronavirus disease that has claimed over 1.2 million lives since December 2019. The good news now is that Pfizer has recorded a major success in the third phase of its vaccine trial. Uche Ugochukwu now takes a look at efforts by health bodies around the world aimed at developing a vaccine.
Quest for vaccine has been prioritized since the outbreak of COVID-19 in Wuhan, China in December 2019, before it spread to other parts of the world. Although developing vaccines normally requires years of testing and additional time to produce in large scale, scientists have been intensifying efforts towards developing COVID-19 vaccine within 12 to 18 months due to the devastating effects of the pandemic. Currently, more than 170 teams of researchers have been on the project of developing a safe and effective vaccine, with more than 170 candidate vaccines now tracked by the World Health Organization.
For a fair distribution and especially access to the poor and those who cannot afford, the most important element will be political commitment.
More than 170 economies are now engaged in discussions to potentially participate in COVAX, and Nigerian government also joined the world in looking for solutions to the COVID-19 problem by constituting a committee made up of scientists to scrutinize claims by different indigenous scientists for cure for the disease. This quest for an effective vaccine against COVID-19 seems to have attained a milestone as drug makers Pfizer and BioNTech announced its vaccine administered on about 43,000 people.
We are expecting that we will launch a phase 3 study pretty soon in July that will involve 30,000 people.
Pfizer says it will be able to supply 50 million doses by the end of 2020 and around 1.3 billion by the end of 2021.
The only pitfall here for us here in Africa and developing countries is that storage for this vaccine, as reported, must be at minus 70 degrees centigrade, which you know is not an easy feat to maintain this cold chain from the point of production to the point of delivery.
There are 10 more vaccines in the final stage of testing, so more results are expected in the coming weeks and months. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
In other news, artisans in Wuse Market and Apple Mechanic Village have begun receiving the one-time 30,000 Naira grant from the federal government under the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Survival Fund. Benny Adams reports that the monies are being disbursed by the Bank of Industry.
In July, the federal government announced plans to roll out 2.3 trillion Naira stimulus package and survival fund for micro, small and medium enterprises to stay afloat amid the economic challenges imposed by the pandemic, an initiative under the National Economic Sustainability Plan. The dance here is in appreciation of a promise being kept.
For the past 2-3 days, a couple of our members has called and said they have begun to receive their alerts.
Yes, I don't get alerts.
While Hafiz Abdul Karim has proof of the cash in his account from Bank of Industry, his colleagues are apprehensive as they are yet to receive theirs. A teacher turned poultry farmer, Igwehi Clement, is yet to be captured into the scheme, but he is hopeful nonetheless, as government says, no cause for alarm.
In the entire FCT, for the artisan alone is about 4,500. By the time you add the transport, it is 9,000. So you do not expect to see 1,000 people that have collected in Akko alone. You do not expect to see 1,000 people that have collected in Wuse alone. So it's just for everybody to understand that for those of them that have registered and have been verified, we can tell you that they will collect their money.
The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria says for those who do not benefit from this batch of disbursement and have registered businesses should reach out for the Guaranteed Takeoff Scheme coming soon under the Artisan Support Initiative. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
And on security, troops of Operation Fireball and Operation Lafia Dole have rescued a woman and 3 children in Mianti Bama local government area of Borno State. A statement by the Acting Director, Defense Media Operations, Brigadier General Bernard Onyuoku, indicates that the victims were liberated during a clearance operation, while 8 terrorists eliminated in different locations in the northeast. Details of the encounter reveals that 5 terrorists met their Waterloo while in combat at Bonigari local government area in Yobe State, in addition to a female suicide bomber neutralized before detonating her vest. Brigadier General Onyuoku notes that several arms were recovered from the operations. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the Emir of Ilorin and Chairman of the Kwara State Council of Chiefs, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, on the attainment of Silver Jubilee on the throne of his forefathers. In a special message to the celebrant marking his 25th year in office on Wednesday, November 11, President Buhari described the 11th Fulani Emir of Ilorin as an exemplary leader who had been at the forefront of community service, inspiring his people towards excellence in education and other human endeavors. President Buhari used this opportunity to emphasize the important role played by the nation's great traditional institutions and their custodians as bridge builders and healers in our society. The president urges all Kwarans and the entire citizens of the country to pray for more years and good health for the emir, whose reign has brought growth and tremendous development to his people. Similarly, President Muhammadu Buhari has felicitated with Malam Mamandara on the occasion of his 81st birthday, describing him as a dedicated public servant, consummate administrator, and one of Nigeria's worthiest gentlemen who is widely misunderstood by so many. In a statement, the president appreciates Mamandara's virtues of humility, compassion, and zeal to mentor people close to him, describing him as a thorough public administrator and a veteran of Nigeria's political history. President Buhari advised Nigerians to be just and fair-minded in the assessment of public figures like Mamandara, whose contributions to the development of the country overshadow perceived flaws. The president wished Mamandara more abundant blessings from God and praised Allah to bless him with better health and long life in the service of Nigeria and mankind. Also, President Muhammadu Buhari joins family and friends of former Anambra State Governor Dame Virgie Etiaba in celebrating her 78th birthday, which comes up on 11th of November, saluting her courage for delving into politics and leaving a legacy of being the first and only female governor so far in Nigeria's history. The president believes the former governor, who also served her state as a deputy governor, set the pace for future possibilities for women in the country to start participating fully in politics and governance and taking ownership in driving development that clearly needs more female inclusion. As Dame Etiaba turned 78, the president notes with appreciation her contributions to educational development as a teacher and head teacher in many parts of the country, before retiring and setting up an institution that continues to promote knowledge, discipline, and good character. He prays that the Almighty God will grant the former governor longer life, good health, and wisdom to keep inspiring and mentoring more women into leadership. All right, time to go to Lagos, and Dotun will feed us with stories from the Center of Excellence. Dotun, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ienre. The Otedola Bridge is one of the numerous bridges in Lagos designed to solve the challenges of traffic gridlock and intra-city connectivity. But the tragic experiences of road users is causing apprehension and suspicion that the bridge is shrouded in mystery. In scrambling for solution, attention has been shifted to the structural defect. But how true is this? Michael Olale provides answer.
June 28, 2018 was a dark day in Lagos when a tanker loaded with petrol leaked and exploded on the Otedola Bridge. What looked like just one of those accidents claimed 12 lives, while 54 vehicles were razed. This is according to the Federal Road Safety Corps available data. This was the height of the incessant road mishaps periodically experienced on the stretch of the Otedola Bridge, especially by articulated vehicles. The scenario is gradually becoming a nightmare. In the wake of another accident on the 17th of October this year, attention was drawn to the possibility of design defects. Olukoya Oduluga, a tricyclist operating at one of the estates around the axis, has seen it all, and going by his observation, the assumption could be right.
Anytime that they are coming this way, the way they are coming with full speed, then maybe they have no their brake or anything, something will just happen. They start controlling it, they cannot control it. That's how the motor will meet the one in the front.
Residents say Regardless of their opinion, the position of experts is important in finding a lasting solution.
The work carried out on the bridge as at that time, 2018, was structurally stable.
Because it is more or less a site that is like work in progress, that they're building and they're repairing and resurfacing. It means that people need to be careful and limit their speed and be watchful about what they are doing on the bridge.
The Federal Road Safety Corps is putting up a more robust strategy as checking the trend. The sector commander appealed to motorists, especially tanker drivers, to comply with road safety code and treat a complicated situation with care in the interest of public safety. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Inadequate market penetration, poor logistics, and supply chain have been identified as setbacks to the LPG revolution in Nigeria. Energy experts said this in Lagos at the official launch of the domestic gas initiative called Flash Gas on the Go. Annie Daniels has details.
The Flash Gas on the Go initiative is to further promote the use of domestic gas in not just Lagos State, but across the African continent. Energy experts here say about 60% of Nigerians still use firewood, 30% use kerosene, while only 5% utilize the available clean energy.
If you can imagine then replacing all of the diesel burning fleet, all the diesel burning trailers and trucks in Lagos with LPG burning fuels, there will be an improvement in the environment.
Flash Gas on the Go is speedy, convenient, reliable, and the company delivers to homes in no time to make life and cooking comfortable for its customers.
The gas composite is quite light. It's rust-proof. It's explosion-proof. It has all the benefits that any consumer would like. And having it on Android, easy application. Your gas gets to you within 30 minutes.
Flash gas, taking safety into consideration, gives us a sort of comfort.
With Flash Gas on the Go, energy experts say Nigerians no longer need to worry about time frame when it comes to refilling their cylinders, and the cylinders have a 25 years warranty. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Let's now take another break. Network News continues shortly.
Rest of the next life. Rest of the life of the next life. Una. Arrange your voice, more cash now.
Hola. Shift. Mind yourself. Social distancing, please.
We observe social distance in this house.
Maintain your social distance.
Do what you've never done before. Find your first with the best data deals in town. Dial *777#. Glow Unlimited.
Harvest time is underway for many crops across the different climate zones in Nigeria. Notwithstanding the slowdown to the global economy caused by the impact of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic and floods in some areas, farmers in the cotton, rice, and maize value chains in the northern and southern parts of the country are optimistic of huge tons of harvest, thanks to the interventions of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, through its Anchor Borrowers Program, ABP. A total of 200,000 farmers and 212,000 hectares in the cotton value chain were financed to the tune of 47.2 billion naira. The estimated yield is 424,000 metric tons, with value creation of 76.3 billion naira. In the rice value chain, 348,101 farmers and 399,302 hectares were financed with 86 billion naira. The estimated yield for rice in the 2020 wet season is 1.6 metric tons, with a value of 224 billion naira expected to be created. The sum of 61 billion naira was disbursed to finance 252,742 maize farmers and 281,684 hectares. While 1.1 million metric tons are estimated as yield, a value of 135 billion naira will be created from the harvest. The coming harvest is good news for Nigerian farmers. It is sweet music to the Nigerian consumer with the anticipated stability in food prices. The expected bountiful harvests is a win-win situation as we speed towards the goal of producing what we eat and eating what we produce.
Small beginnings, only stepping stones to bigger things. That's our philosophy at Premium Pension. And so no matter the size of your money, our team of expert fund managers invested wisely and actively to make sure your money is always working as hard as you do. After all, the things we're building today can help shape your future in the long run. And with the right partner by your side, the one thing you're sure to do is soar. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
With total submission to the will of God, the Public Service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria announces the passing on to glory of Babatunde Lawal, Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and Deputy Secretary to the Federal Executive Council, which sad event occurred on Friday, 6th November 2020, at the age of 56 years. Burial program is as follows. Friday, 13th November 2020, service of songs and evening of tributes, 4 to 6 p.m., International Conference Center, Area 10, Abuja. Saturday, 14th November 2020, funeral service at the National Christian Center behind Central Bank of Nigeria headquarters, Central Business District, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Interment at Gudu Christian Cemetery, Abuja, immediately after the funeral service. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Dr. Morris Nnamdi Mberi, announcer.
Glad to have you back. The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malik Ienre, is assuring the public that the corporation has in place a stock of over 2.9 billion litres of petrol to guarantee seamless movement of people, goods and services across the country in the forthcoming Christmas season and beyond. A statement by Dr. Kenny Abatero, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, NNPC. The GMD dismissed rising insinuation of possible scarcity of petroleum products following ongoing disagreement between the federal government and members of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association, PENGASSN, over the implementation of the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPPIS. The NNPC GMD reiterated that the corporation is determined to make the 2020 end-of-year festivities a zero-fuel queue period, just like the preceding year, noting that critical stakeholders in the petroleum products supply and distribution chain, such as tanker drivers, depot owners and road transport owners, have been mobilized to ensure hitch-free season. It is for the sake of equipping women with the right techniques and methods of engaging leadership roles and making notable impacts evident in national development alongside coping well with their personal, family and professional lives that a 3-day workshop on leadership etiquette for women leaders kicked off in Abuja. Momso Damian Dati reports.
From all over Nigeria, women holding diverse positions of leadership make their way to the Merit House Abuja.
To share experiences, to exchange ideas, improve on our leadership skills and etiquette,
With women becoming a dominant force in workplaces, political spaces and governance, impacting skills for performing in line with the global best practices are said to be necessary.
As Kamala Harris emerges the first black woman vice president of the United States since 244 years of U.S. politics. Her emergence is a further affirmation that here in Nigeria, we can.
We need to position ourselves in such a way that when we have opportunities to lead, we'll be leading right. And the only way we can do this right is by having the right etiquette that will project us right and be able to do leadership in our own way right.
National development through enhancing businesses, socio-economic growth and sustainability are the focus here.
That's why we need seminars, workshops like this, because we have to show too that we can.
Even more qualified academically, more qualified in terms of excellence to actually, govern this nation.
Behavioral culture, public relations, emotional intelligence, and security tips for women are attributes and skills being inculcated into the participants. In Abuja, Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
Let's have a bit of sports now with Tamara Ibiwe as our guide.
Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Niger Delta matters, Senator Ita Enang, has enjoined Nigerians to create time for sports in order to avoid regular visits to the hospital.
If you don't want to be sick, if you want to be physically and mentally alert, you have to create time for sport.
In handball, Edo Dynamos continue their optimal performance at the ongoing 2020